In this, we have a list in this chapter of Enoch giving an account of the leaders of the 200 rebellious angels by name and what specifically each one of them taught to mankind. And so here in this verse, we're talking about the A word here, right? Abortion. Would you read this, Ken?
Enoch 68, 17, 18 says, "And the fifth was named Kesdeja. This is he who showed the children of men all the wicked smitings of spirits and demons, and the smitings of the embryo in the womb, that it may pass away."
All right. So, yeah, abortion has been a hot topic of discussion in recent years. Very spirited debates about it. Yeah, pun intended. With multitudes parading and protesting for what they call a woman's right to abort a human baby from the womb. And that is when they can even agree on what a woman even is. But this passage in Enoch uses no minced words in the same breath as it says the smitings of demons. It pairs that with the smitings of the embryo in the womb, that it may pass away, which means to kill it. So it's clearly a teaching or doctrine of demons, is it not?
And the rebellious angels, yeah.
Quite literally, yeah.
I wanted to drop a quick public service announcements while we're on the topic, and that will help segue into our next scriptures. Will you play that, bro? Check it out.
Child sacrifice. Barbaric. Evil. Ancient. Modern. There's nothing new under the sun. Throughout history, children have been sacrificed to a variety of deities in attempts to gain favor or blessings. Aztecs cut their children's hearts out to appease the gods of rain and war. Incas sacrificed their children to the sun god so their crops would flourish. Canaanites sacrificed their infants to Moloch for prosperity. Drums were played loudly to drown out the baby's screams. Child sacrifice never stopped, and we still don't hear their screams. There's nothing new under the sun. We sacrifice our children today, not for rain or war victories, but for freedom or convenience. We sacrifice to gain favor in the workplace, or for the blessings of money or fame. We sacrifice our babies on the altar of free sex. Child sacrifice is no longer a public event. It's done behind closed doors. Rather than a gory burning or bloody stabbing, it's become a neat, sterile, and clinical event. We don't throw our children into the fire or leave them to freeze to death. We starve our babies. We poison them. We rip off their arms and legs and crush their skulls. We call it choice. We call it empowerment. And our culture condones it. We celebrate it. We celebrate baby murder. We consider it vital to our existence. It's become a right. But nothing is different. There's nothing new under the sun. Innocent human beings are still being sacrificed for the selfish gains of those more powerful. Modern child sacrifice is thriving. We must end it. End abortion.
Like John 10:10, the thief only comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But Jesus says, I came that they may have life and have it more abundantly. Yeah, that was a little graphic, guys. Apologies, but I hope it gets the point across of our stance on the subject. Abortion is murder, and that they are actually human beings growing in the womb from the moment of conception when God forms those babies in the womb, and that taking their life is an evil thing to do, and it is the consistent behavior represented throughout pagan cultures.
That part in the clip there where the baby's going into the fire with Molech holding it, that was visceral for me. My goodness, yeah. Like that's brutal. That's a bad way to go.
Agreed.
That's why the rabbinic writings from I think it's the Mishnah talk about the practices of Baal from the BC era and how they would play the drums really loud to scream out the cries of both parents and child during those services.
So crazy.
Yeah.
Bo Yeshua Bo. So as we were just reminded in that clip, when pagan cultures throughout time have performed worship to their gods and these demons, that has notoriously been known to include ritual human sacrifice, typically children. Keep that in consideration as we dive into these next passages. Enoch 97:8, they will worship stones and engrave golden, silver, and wooden images. They will worship impure spirits, demons, and every idol in temples. So this is a prophecy all the way back in Enoch's day, seventh from Adam, right? Early on in creation.
So this was before Yahweh told Moses on Mount Sinai that this is what Israel's going to end up doing too, right?
Right. And Judah, also in his testament, among the testament of the 12 patriarchs, he's on his deathbed talking to his sons and their sons. Now I have much grief, my children, because of your lewdness and witchcrafts and idolatries which you will practice against the kingdom, following them that have familiar spirits, diviners and demons of error. You will make your daughters singing girls and harlots, and you will mingle in the abominations of the Gentiles. So another prophecy here that God's own people will turn from his ways to these ways. And I think it's interesting, don't you guys, that it says accompanying this, following people that have familiar spirits and demons, they'll do witchcraft and idolatry, of course. So it's the witchcrafts and sorceries we know all too well are accompanying that same behavior. And we see these come true. Sean, we get this?
So in 1 Corinthians 10:20, it says, "No, but I say that the things which Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to demons and not to God. I do not want to become sharers in demons." And then in Revelation 9:20 and 21, it says, "Now the rest of mankind who were not killed by these plagues still did not repent of the work of their hands. They did not stop worshiping demons and idols of gold, silver, bronze, stone, and wood, which cannot see or hear or walk. Furthermore, they did not repent of their murder, sorcery, sexual immorality, and theft."
So yeah, we see Paul in his day, in his letter to the church at Corinth, he's saying he's already seen those prophecies from Enoch and Judah coming true, that the Gentiles specifically, and Gentile is just a word defined as those of the nations, those who are outside of the nation of Israel, not in covenant, that can be grafted into the covenant, right? But instead, those guys were choosing to sacrifice to demons, not to God.
Yeah.
Cannot sit
so
at the table of the Lord and of the table of demons, can you?
Yeah, just as you were pointing out with that Testament of Judah quote, this is synonymous with the practice of murder and sorcery and sexual morality are part of the rituals for usually involving child sacrifice and the worship of demons. Yeah. So
all kinds of lustful group acts going on, and the blood drinking, blood shedding, it's all in there.
And apparently, even up to the days of Yeshua, it's still going to be happening. Even to the days that Yeshua returns and stops them. Up until that point, like they're not going to stop.
That's what Revelation was just saying, like a direct fulfillment, future prophecy still, but a fulfillment of what Judah said he saw happening for his sons.